Welcome back, folks. When we last left off, I failed epically trying to fight the boss, the Chozo Statue, so we'll continue right where we left off and go fight him again. I think where I went wrong before was I actually should have probably topped off on missiles after I opened that door, because once I ran out of missiles, I was in trouble. So we're gonna do it right this time, hopefully. Yeah, maybe not. You know what, we'll just go ahead and try it again. Maybe I won't be so damn silly this time. We're gonna try that sequence breaking trick again. Oh, man. I am way too on top of that statue to even think about doing that, so... no, there's no way. Yeah, I didn't even make it halfway back. There is a way you can do that, folks, I promise. It's been shown on a lot of tool-assisted speedruns. Let's not screw this up royally this time, Dave. Haha, we got him. Let's restock. And now we've got our bombs, we can head out of here. I think, if I remember correctly, this Let's Play will have roughly 16 parts to it in total, so a lot of material to cover in a short amount of time. We're actually going to go left here and head down the ramp. Like I said, we're going to do this as close to a streamlined version as possible. And we got an energy tank, yay! The first of a lot of those, but the more of those we get, the better, obviously. For those of you who don't know what they do, they store an extra 100 health energy, which makes your life not so complicated. We're going to top off here. There's no room to the right, but we're going to check this out. This is a little fishy. What the fuck is that? I recognize Kraid and Ridley, but who are the other two? Are these the 4 space pirate bosses, I wonder? Well, there's no good way to get through there, so we'll just have to keep going. It's a shrine dedicated to him, I guess. I don't know. Just keep trucking along, folks. We're gonna head down to Brinstar. Upper Brinstar, that is. Brinstar is actually a really fucking huge area, so we're gonna actually take the time to explore to an extent, but right now, I try to do things as close to when you can do them in the actual game without sequence breaking. It's a pure run, like I said. And we need 5 missiles to get through any of these goddamn doors, so I'm gonna have to kill. Life. Joy. Throughout the Let's Play, we will actually be ignoring some rooms, and most of the ones that I ignore will actually be just, like, pointless, out-of-the-way stuff, like, missile reloading stations, and so on and so forth, so we'll ignore those, but, obviously the vital stuff I'm going to try not to skip, so that if you haven't played the game before, or if you don't know where some of the key items are, we can at least help you out in some of those. So I'm really excited about this. This is, like I said in the last episode, this is probably my favorite game of all time. I grew up with this game, and I blame for my addiction. I blame my Uncle John, actually, because he's the one who got me hooked on it, and I haven't been the same ever since. I love Metroid. I love the franchise. The only title out of it I really hated was The Other M. I was not a fan of The Other M. And you know what? The thing is that bothered me about Other M, it was made by Team Ninja, which, for those of you who don't know who they are, excuse me, missile upgrades, yay. But, in case you didn't know who Team Ninja was, they were the developers behind Ninja Gaiden, the critically acclaimed series for the NES, SNES, and Xbox, and Xbox 360. They co-developed The Other M with Retro. Well, actually, I don't even know if Retro was a part of the project, but I know Nintendo was. But it just, they tried to return to more of a traditional Metroid, and for me it didn't work. Part of what made the original Metroid so doable was the environments, and the whole atmosphere around it. Even though it was a 2D game, the atmosphere was way better, I felt, in the originals than Other M. And Super Metroid just takes the cake. I mean, the environments, the atmosphere, everything is just absolutely freaking awesome. As we got even more missiles, now we're up to 20 we can carry, that's a pretty good start. You know, I felt like Super Metroid had the best overall package of any Metroid game, and even though they said that, you know, it was the top SNES game, which blew my mind that it was, because I thought it was definitely top 3. I didn't know if it'd be number 1. But, there were so many good SNES titles that this beat, like, for example, Link to the Past, as well as the infamous Final Fantasy VI, one of the greatest games ever made by Square. In fact, a lot of people argue it is the greatest game ever made by Square. So, you know, that goes huge way for me to be able to say that this great of a game is, you know, voted number 1. But you have so many good SNES titles, and I still say to this day that the SNES was the best console ever made. And a lot of people will agree with me on that are hardcore gamers. It got to the point where, back then, it wasn't so much about the money. I mean, it's always about the money, don't get me wrong. But it was about making good titles. And even the bad titles were, they're alright, I can play this. There were only about 1 or 2 really bad titles for the SNES. And today, by God, you don't have enough fingers to count on the bad titles for the 360, the PS3, and the Wii. You know, it just, they don't have it. So that's something I really do love about the SNES. Everything was very smooth. Everything for the SNES felt of its time. So, and it made perfect sense for Metroid 3 to be on Super Nintendo, and it worked beautifully. Like, I love this game, I love this system. Alright, we're gonna head up into this room. Alright, mini-boss time, folks. Oh boy. You got a pretty mouth. Alright, let's pop another missile into him. And for those of you who are wondering what this mini-boss is called, he's known as the Spore Spawn. In some forms of the game, there actually is a way to sequence break to where you get the super missiles before you do this fight, so that he just basically falls over like after 1 or 2 super missile shots. In this fight, like I said, because I'm doing it the non-sequence breaking way, this takes a little bit longer, a couple minutes longer. Oh shit, he's turning even darker now. And he moves a little bit faster. That's something that's very trendy about this game that I don't know if I quite necessarily liked all the time. But I guess from a realist point, it does make sense. Because as you get weaker to death, you know, you're going to fight harder to live, I guess. But to me, it just always felt like it just felt out of place because as you're weakening these enemies, they're getting stronger, you know. But I mean, it made the fights more interesting and it made the gameplay a lot more enjoyable. I'll give it that. It just to me, from a logical standpoint, it didn't quite work for me. Let's get him again. Ooh. About one or two more hits should do it here. Oh, nope, one more. The music gets really catchy. It ups the creepy factor by about 1,000, that's for sure. Alright, we got him, folks. That's one thing I really enjoyed about this game. The music for sure matched the atmosphere of the game. When things were really tense, they made you feel really tense. When things were just meant to be creepy and weird, they were creepy and weird, you know? It just, everything about this game made it work. I'm going to top off on items real quick. And let's get our super missiles. Head through this door. In this game, you'll find I don't talk a lot. Things are pretty straightforward, and I like you to be able to enjoy the atmosphere and appreciate the things about Super Metroid that I appreciate about it. So, we're wrapping down this episode now. We got about a minute to go. And I really think we're getting to my favorite part of the game. This whole build-up right here. Basically, what's getting ready to happen is we're getting ready to head down to Lower Brinstar now. And the music is just absolutely mind-blowing. It is the best song in this game, in my opinion. So, I won't talk a whole lot in the next episode other than when we get to the big stuff. Well, that'll do it for this episode, folks. When we come back, we'll delve into Lower Brinstar. Until then, this is Dave signing off.